Hey guys, welcome back to another video. My name is Christina and this time I want to share with you some of my most favorite and beloved floral fragrances for women that I recommend to any woman out there. These are my top 20 to 21 fragrances that I cannot live without. So if you're like me and you love something ultra feminine floral, then definitely give a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos like this one. And also I do have some discount codes on the fragrances mentioned in this video, so definitely check out the description box below. So let me start this video with one of, this fragrance always gets me compliments, and it's actually not a base fragrance. It lasts on me maybe like 3 to 4 hours, but this is your a little bit oriental but more like floral and ambery fragrance with some ambergris, with orris, with geranium and peach, with some rose, jasmine, neroli and gardenia. And it's a complex fragrance, but it will get you always compliments, trust me. So this is Enigma Essence Parfum. So they have the normal eau de parfum, but this fragrance was actually sent to me and I've had it for more than 1 year. But whenever I wear it, I always get a compliment from my husband or from people around me. And actually this fragrance, you know, it has the orris, the ambergris, a little bit of patchouli in the base. This is one of the most beautiful floral fragrances, and that's why it's on the first place. So I wish it had a little bit better longevity. But ladies, if you love a little bit more complex floral, kind of floriental and ambery fragrances, then definitely check out Enigma. And this is the Essence Parfum, so it's not as concentrated, but actually I compared the two fragrances side by side, the Eau de Parfum and the Essence Parfum, and I don't think they're actually that different, although I would love to own the Eau de Parfum. But this one, if you love something like femme fatale but still a little bit more translucent and lighter floriental fragrance, then definitely try the Enigma. The next fragrance that I love, and this actually is a beast white floral and woodsy, slightly lactonic ambery fragrance. It's a very simple fragrance. It has some gardenia, some amber, sandalwood, and it feels creamy, a little bit slightly lactonic. So this is Fleur Burlesque. And ladies, this fragrance, this is that a little bit classic, slightly nostalgic, but still modern, creamy and woodsy white floral fragrance. The gardenia here is it's soft, but there's something animalic, like the slightest touch, like 10% or 5% of something animalic that makes this fragrance really grown up and not too boring. And this is actually the reason why I bought this fragrance in the first place. I love gardenia, I love lily of the valley, but sometimes these fragrances that are centered around these two notes can be a little bit lighter, like fresh, a little bit boring. Not this one. As I said, slightly, like the slightest touch of something woodsy or animalic, but it's still more creamy and ambery and woodsy with that creamy gardenia. So, you know, it's not too fresh, not too heavy, just beautiful. And actually this fragrance lasts on my skin 12+ hours. So actually this fragrance, I think it was mentioned by Demi Rolling, where I thought, let me try this fragrance. It cannot be that this white floral fragrance is as long lasting as Demi says it is, and it actually is. And this fragrance I also added to my collection on Sniff. This is like the new app for fragrance lovers, so if you're still not there, definitely go there. I have there my account under fragrance lists, so there's my collection, my wish list, all the fragrances I have in my collection, and Fleur Burlesque is there. So definitely check out VILHELM Perfumerie, a beautiful creamy lactonic and slightly woodsy gardenia. Now the next fragrance, so the name has wrapped off, but this is CIANURO or CIANURO by V CANTO. And if you love J'adore by Dior, I love that fragrance, you might enjoy this one. It's a little bit lighter, a little bit more tropical, and it has passion fruit, mango, papaya, I think also pineapple in the opening, then some neroli, water lily and narcissus, and some slight like oak moss and some woody nuances with musk in the base. So this fragrance is this is a blind buy worthy fragrance. You know, it has some white flowers that are soft like lily of the valley, and then also the narcissus, but it's not too yellow floral. You know, narcissus can be sometimes like a little bit too much. Not everybody can handle narcissus in fragrances, but here it's really blended to perfection. I would describe this fragrance as slightly tropical and fresh, yet kind of Western and modern, and you know, just like J'adore, without like being too heavy, a little bit more tropical, fresh, aquatic, beautiful flowers with a fruity opening that isn't actually too delicious, which is what I love in this fragrance. So it's blended to perfection, a beautiful aquatic and tropical floral fragrance with some narcissus. The next fragrance that I love is actually a fragrance I'm still not sure about, but I love the idea and I love the longevity and performance, and actually so many people love already this fragrance. I was kind of surprised. I don't know, it reminds me of another designer's fragrance. I just cannot put my finger on which fragrance it reminds me of, but this is Pink Me Up by Atelier des Ors. So this is your sparkly, fruity, citrusy champagne or rose with champagne. Very sparkly, very sweet. Like this is your bubblegummy rose with that champagne, something slightly bitter than citrusy and sweet. And as I said, like if you're looking for a new fragrance with some champagne, with rose, with citrusy nuances, that smells really sparkly like a kid's champagne, you know, with that without alcohol. Some champagne fragrances can be a little bit too bitter, not this one. This is a real compliment together, something ultra feminine. If you're looking for a blind buy worthy dump reach, where it smells sparkly, bright, a little bit citrusy, but then that rose is pronounced with that champagne, Pink Me Up. Like this fragrance, you cannot not love this fragrance. For some people, it can be maybe a little bit like not too complex, but I think this was a safe choice for Atelier des Ors, just something feminine, beautiful, sexy, sensual, a little bit flirty and playful. The next fragrance is actually a sample, but I need a full bottle. I actually need Mercurial Cashmere and VIXERE, and this is by ELECTIMUSS. So I bought the Discovery set. That was so expensive. I think I paid for it 120 euros. They're in Great Britain, I'm in Germany, so I had to pay something like extra for the delivery. But you can also deduct the price if you purchase a full bottle from their website. But VIXERE, this is a stunning white floral citrusy vanilla fragrance. It is powdery, like it has 30 to 40% of that classic touch, something a little bit nostalgic, but then it's also something creamy, powdery, warm, and ambery. So it's not like your old school white floral vintage fragrance, but Mercurial Cashmere, I prefer maybe that one more, and VIXERE are those two fragrances that I definitely recommend for women from ELECTIMUSS. And this fragrance is powdery, it has heliotrope, but also my beloved gardenia, so no wonder I love this fragrance. I always know there's gardenia if I love a white floral fragrance, and here you have it, also with jasmine, with some musk in the base, tonka bean, vanilla, sandalwood, patchouli, so a beautiful complex fragrance. But yeah, for the lovers of something nostalgic meets modern, and a complement together if you love white flowers like gardenia with some heliotrope. So yeah, that was VIXERE. Now a fragrance that looks like it's innocent, but it's not. And this fragrance, it has something, it has like a character. I'm innocent, but if you get to know me, you know I'm not. So this is Blossom Love by AMOUAGE. Let me tell you how crazy and unique this fragrance is. The longevity, it stays on my skin for 3 days. I take a shower and it's still there. I spray this fragrance just twice on my neck and I smell it everywhere the whole day. It's crazy. This is that powdery cherry blossom floral fragrance with a little bit of ylang with that amaretto. So it's a little bit kind of boozy, but not really. It's just a little bit delicious. And then it's fresh and powdery, really like 10% of something animalic in there. As I said, this fragrance is innocent, but it has a character, so it's not that innocent. A beautiful fragrance, extremely long lasting. So if you love some amaretto, cherry blossom, suede, tonka bean, something very complex, but then very floral and powdery, then Blossom Love would be for you from AMOUAGE. So the next fragrance that I'm obsessed with, and this fragrance, this is really, as it cannot get any more feminine, sensual, warm, powdery, and a little bit tropical. But actually this fragrance, I love to wear it especially during winter and not in summer, because it's that warm and tropical and powdery ylang. So this is ylang in gold, and I also do have a discount code on this fragrance. And I recommend that every lady has this fragrance in their collection. You know, there are other yellow floral fragrances out there, and they are a little bit too much. Sometimes not this fragrance. It's warm, it's powdery, it's complex, it feels very golden, you know, and the ylang, it's not too pronounced, it's not that animalic, too woodsy and ylang, it feels powdery, almost a little bit sugary, but then it's warm and just slightly creamy, which is what I love about this fragrance. If you love something sweet, something warm, powdery, and kind of very versatile, then definitely try ylang in gold. And this is this special edition with the new packaging, but I think the liquid inside has also the glitters as the usual packaging. So yeah, that was M.MICALLEF. Now the next fragrance is a miniature, but this is a fragrance I've always loved, and I need a full bottle. and this is El Instant by Guerlain. And I think it doesn't get any more classic than this fragrance. So, you know, it has, again, some magnolia, some iris, some white flowers, something slightly citrusy, then ambery, warm with some honey. So it's a complex fragrance again, but in the end, what you get is a very warm, floral fragrance that is very long lasting actually on my skin. But this is a dabber, so I want a sprayer, so I will purchase probably a full bottle. And El Instant by Guerlain. Definitely let me know in the comments if you have this fragrance, because I think any woman that likes something ultra elegant, feminine, warm, powdery, and ambery has El Instant. And this fragrance actually was released in 2003, so it's kind of like, this is not a new or modern fragrance, but I still think it has a modern touch to it, and it will always be like a timeless piece in your collection. So yeah, if you love floral, powdery, ambery, slightly citrusy, warm fragrances, then definitely try El Instant. Now the fragrance of the year. So this is Possibilities by La Perla. Let me tell you, I hate blackcurrant in fragrances, and rose, like, I got to love rose a lot, but this fragrance, it's something different. What I smell actually in this fragrance is a semi-dark, woodsy, fruity freesia with rose. So to me, this is not your typical pure rose or woodsy rose fragrance. I smell the freesia from the opening till the dry down, with the addition of some rose, then the fruity opening from the blackcurrant, also some pink pepper, some woodsy nuances. But many YouTube bloggers say this is a beast carnal fragrance. I disagree. On me, it's lighter. On my skin, I do pick up a lot of that freesia. So to me, it was a light, semi-transparent, but still woody and fruity rose fragrance with that freesia. The freesia, I smell it everywhere. To me, this is a freesia fragrance with something dark. So yeah, so a dark freesia fragrance with the addition of rose and blackcurrant. I love this fragrance a lot, and I actually bought just 3 milliliters. I have used up more than 50%, and I've had it just for 3 months, I think. So I need to see, but I want to have this fragrance always in my collection. But I think the next time I'll purchase also 3 milliliters, because it was just 100 euros. Well, just, but you know, like, it's costly. The 100 milliliter bottle is kind of costly, and I want to take it with me everywhere, to the office, you know, when I'm outside, just because, as I said, I need to reapply it after 5 or 4 hours. So I don't know where people like, why is it a beast fragrance? Because on me, it's not a beast fragrance. So yeah, La Perla Possibilities. So the next fragrance actually has, I think, no flowers in the pyramid. But to me, this is again your typical floral, powdery, slightly boozy, heliotrope warm fragrance. And this is Orchidee Rouge by SORA DORA. And I again have a discount code on this fragrance. But this one, I thought there are orchids, like it's in the name Orchidee Rouge, like something like red with orchids or with maybe some pink flowers. And yes, it smells like it. It has, you know, some almonds in it, or maybe almond milk, something powdery, warm, ambery. This fragrance is for ladies who love something feminine, sweet, easy, like an easy reach, a dump reach, warm, sensual, feminine. If you want to get compliments and smell kind of delicious and gourmand, a little bit boozy, but then with that heliotrope and almonds, so it's creamy, and you're looking for a basically very feminine floral fragrance that is simple, but it does its job, then Orchidee Rouge. I love it especially during winter, during fall, and maybe spring. During summer, this will be, yeah, too much for me, too coconutty. I think during summer, this will turn a little bit coconutty and warm powdery on me, which is what I don't like. So yeah, so that was Orchidee Rouge by SORA DORA. Now, the next fragrance is actually, if you're not into Ylang Ylang, then this fragrance is not for you, but I love Ylang Ylang. And here you have a very realistic opening of Ylang Ylang that quickly, but very quickly transforms into a more yellow floral, woodsy, but still very powdery, warm, and seductive fragrance. And this is Ylang Ylang Nosy Bee by PERRIS Monte Carlo. And I wore this fragrance like crazy during winter. And let me tell you, Ylang in Gold by M.MICALLEF, also with PERRIS Monte Carlo. These two fragrances with Ylang Ylang both are centered around Ylang Ylang, but this one is a bit softer. Also warm, ambery, tropical, but this one goes more in that direction. A little bit more animalic, woodsy, and yellow floral, so a little bit more dense and deeper. And this one is just slightly more feminine, like a little bit more girly, but still ultra elegant, feminine, and grown up. So here the Ylang Ylang is woodier, sexier, And it also has some cardamom, and it's very realistic like in the opening, but as I said, it lasts maybe only for 5 to 10 seconds, and it quickly transforms into a more complex yellow floral but woodsy and powdery ambery fragrance. So yeah, that was Paris Monte Carlo. Now the next fragrance I had to mention is a fragrance I decant all the time just to have it with me everywhere, and this is one of the most underrated citrusy and rosy ambery fragrances. Very ambery, warm, but still with that citrusy or maybe like a fruity opening from clementines and with that rose. So this is CICUTA by Quinto Canto, and I'm addicted to Quinto Canto fragrances, and this fragrance, actually this rose is a rose for queens, for princesses. If you're looking for something slightly fruity, like it has those clementines, something very juicy in the opening, and then the rose, the amber, this is one of the most beautiful, elegant fragrances that don't smell too classic, maybe old school-ish, you know what I mean. It's a very warm, citrusy and rosy. So this fragrance is for those of you who love semi-translucent, not too heavy rose fragrances, but you love something warm but still a little bit juicy and delicious, from like it has the juiciness from clementine. So yeah, this was CICUTA. So the next fragrance is one of the sexiest white floral fragrances with osmanthus, some orange blossom, cardamom, vanilla, and musk. And this is La Prima by Milano Fragrance. This is a beauty. Whenever I spray it, colleagues, my man ask, what is it? You smell very beautiful. And it's that osmanthus that doesn't get too leathery or too animalic and too strong. If you're into white floral or maybe yellow floral fragrances with that osmanthus that smells actually like an apricot-y leather, here it doesn't go in that direction, woodsy, animalic, leathery. If you really want to smell like La Prima, something where you're dressed up and you have a beautiful dress and you want to smell sensual, very sexy, almost erotic, then this fragrance is for you, just because it's amazing. And I wear it actually to the office, you know. It's not as long lasting. I do get an average longevity, but the dry down, the trail I leave, you know, just people compliment me. So yeah, that was La Prima. The next fragrance is slightly citrusy, but it's more dense, and it's more creamy, woodsy, white floral fragrance with some, I think, jasmine and kumquat in the opening, then some sandalwood. So this is Leo by TIZIANA Terenzi, and this fragrance lasts and lasts and lasts on your skin. It's a very complex and extremely versatile, creamy and white floral woodsy fragrance. So the woods are here more like in the direction, I don't know, sandalwood, something creamy, not too much, but also with those white flowers and the kumquat. If you like jasmine, magnolia, myrrh, maybe a little bit of ambergris, some woodsy nuances that are creamy like sandalwood, then definitely try Leo. It's very elegant, very versatile, not too grown up. It has the sweetness, but it has the floral nuances and the creaminess in it. So I love this fragrance a lot, and I also appreciate longevity, which is like 12 or 15 plus hours. So yeah, that was Leo. The next fragrance is a miniature, and this is a Cento Overdose by Xerjoff, and I'm just good with this miniature just because it's so long lasting, so powerful. I have to go through this bottle, and I've had it for quite some time, and I'm still not, I have used up maybe 20%, but this is your slightly aquatic and wet white floral green fragrance with some green nuances, some fruity nuances, some lily of the valley, jasmine, pine, and eucalyptus. I don't smell here any eucalyptus. To me, it's slightly fruity, green, white floral fragrance with that lily of the valley that is very powerful and thick. So it's not your typical light, fresh, not long-lasting lily of the valley. It has the power to it. This is another Xerjoff powerful fragrance, a beast fragrance that stays everywhere. I spray it twice on me and it stays on me the whole day. Amazing fragrance, like very formal, elegant. As I said, it has the wet quality to it, so it's a little bit aquatic, but then it has the green accords, those fruity nuances, so it's a complex fragrance, but in the end, this is that green white floral fragrance with the lily of the valley and some pine in the base. So beautiful one, a Cento Overdose. Another fragrance that I will just quickly mention, I have mentioned this fragrance on my channel already, so this is Marfa by Memo PERRIS, a simple, warm, powdery, floral vanilla fragrance. Again, with some orange blossom, ylang, vanilla, and musk. Beautiful one. It's slightly woodsy, but it's more on the powdery and softer vanilla side than the woodsy side. Love it a lot. It's an elegant, feminine, ultra feminine fragrance. Nothing unisex about it. I would say it works pretty much in any occasion, but I love it especially during winter to the office, just because I feel like a queen. Ultra elegant and formal, but still slightly sensual. So yeah. Marfa. The next fragrance actually maybe isn't your typical floral fragrance, but I still wanted to include this fragrance in the video just because I love it, and I do smell there some white flowers. To me, this is a white floral green vanilla fragrance with some angelica and pear, and this is Angelique Noir. So I finally got this fragrance. It was a gift from my husband to me, which I'm very happy about just because it's one of the most beautiful fragrances. So in 2018, I decided either Angelique Noir or Spiritueuse de Belle Vanille, and I went for Spiritueuse de Belle Vanille, but I always wanted to still have Angelique Noir in my collection, and now I finally do have it. This is beautiful. A gorgeous take on Angelica with that pear with some white flowers, and then the vanilla. The vanilla is here. Sweet. Also, they have the new design, but I think it has gotten a little bit less green and more sweeter, powdery, vanilla-like, but I still love it. It's still a beautiful fragrance, very ultra feminine, extremely elegant, and a compliment getter. So yeah, Angelique Noir. Now, the next fragrance I bought maybe 5 to 6 months ago, and this is Nanche by Nichane. Nanche by Nichane, this is my vibe, and also I do love carrot seeds in fragrances. This is actually one of my pet peeves. I love and I look for fragrances that have explicitly carrot seeds in the fragrance with some iris, and here you have it. So it has carrot seeds, it has yuzu in the opening, and also this is your warm spicy floral, a little bit nostalgic or classic fragrance, but that is still very modern and actually extremely long lasting. It has a classic vibe, but then it has a sweetness and the carrot seeds, so it's kind of a little bit lactonic, milky, rooty, but then it's very floral, warm with that vanilla. Then jasmine, ylang, orris, musk, and powdery notes. So this is your typical, like it doesn't go in that direction, powdery floral fragrance that smells like a makeup or a cosmetic bag, but it's warm, spicy with that orris. It's a little bit sensual, just a beautiful grown-up fragrance. I would say this is not like for 15-year-old girls. This is for grown-up women, something classic, formal, elegant with that warm, spicy, playful touch to it. That was Nichane Nanche. Now let's do a white floral suntan lotion-like smelling white and yellow floral fragrance. So this is Sun Goddess by Musicology, and what it is basically, this smells like white and yellow flowers with that suntan lotion vibe, something a little bit not coconutty but still creamy. It has slightly like powdery and lactonic vibe to it with a frangipani, some orange blossom, some jasmine and heliotrope, maybe also some musk. But basically this smells like you're on the beach, you're applying your suntan lotion, and there are some like white and yellow flowers. Just a beautiful fragrance that isn't too tropical, isn't too coconutty, is slightly creamy yet powdery and a little bit lactonic. So that was Sun Goddess by Musicology. Now the last fragrance I want to mention in this video is a fragrance that smells like the most expensive and beautiful shampoo. So this is that white floral fragrance that has some sweet orange, some apricots and jasmine in the opening, but then it's centered around tuberose, some white flowers, jasmine, and it's very creamy, thick, a little bit dense, but still light. So it's not woodsy, but it has some texture to it. And this is Tuberose by Giorgino Benesera. And I haven't used up this fragrance a lot, although I've had it for quite some time just because it's long lasting. Whenever I spray it, 3 times, 4 times on me, I smell it the whole day on me. And during summer, it doesn't project as much, so I don't know if you will get compliments with this fragrance, but I do keep smelling it on me the whole day. And those apricots, so this is your apricot-y, white floral, creamy fragrance that smells especially amazing during summer and spring. It's kind of cheerful, but it's not light cheerful and too playful. It just has the texture, something creamy, a little bit thicker. It almost reminds me not of a liquid like water, but a cream, like a body lotion with those white flowers, something creamy, sandalwoody with those apricots. So yeah, that was Giorgino Benesera Tuberose. And just a bonus, just to mention this fragrance that smells actually like Delina. I don't know what this fragrance retails for, but this was sent to me and I love it actually. And this is Orientica Bellissimo Arte Romantic. What a gorgeous take and dupe, like a take on Delina and a dupe. This is Delina, so beautiful and warm. A little bit creamy, a gorgeous one, and I have been loving and wearing this fragrance a lot, although I'm not into dupes, but this fragrance is amazing. Smells very similar to Delina, if not identical. It's pretty much the same, but I just, you know, I love original fragrances, but I just had to give shout outs to Orientica for this fragrance just because it's really that good. So if you love Delina, something fresh, spicy with rose, with vanilla and musk, then try Bellissimo Romantic from Orientica. So these were my floral fragrances that I just love. Let me know in the comments down below if you have some of these fragrances and which are your top 2 or 3 floral fragrances for women. Thank you for watching. Give a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos in the future. See you next time. Bye bye.